Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So a lot of people ask me how I invest in real estate properties and what is the best method. Today I'm going to be discussing the BRRRR method, and no, it has nothing to do with being gold. It stands for buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat. This is the best method to buy long-term rental properties using the exact same money over and over and over and over and over. You get the point. This method creates equity in the house from the start, gives you a cash flowing rental property, and pays you back all or most of the money that you put into the house. Sounds too good to be true, right? I'll explain the BRRRR method in detail and give you a real life example. Let's get started. The first step is buying the house. For this method to work best, this is the most important step. If you overpay for a house or don't get a great deal, then you can't get all your equity back out just with renovations. I look for single family houses that have been on the market for a while, that have either reduced the asking price or been on the market for over 30 days. This could be for a number of reasons. Time of year, winter's a slow time, renovations that people are unwilling to do, etc. Here is a real life example. A house was on market for $200,000. The city assessment was $201,000. Then they reduced the price to $184,777. I came in with an offer of $175,000 with no conditions, meaning no inspection, no subject to financing, and a quick close. They accepted it, so I gained $25,000 in equity just from negotiating a great price. Step 2, renovate. I find that this is the area that a lot of people overdo. It's easy to fall in love with a house and want to fix up every little thing that you see. I advise not to do this. I find that if you stick to renovating just a few important things, you'll get the exact same result than if you spent way more money doing every single thing in the house. When I buy a rental property, I make sure the roof is not ancient and about to collapse. You can redo a roof, but only if it makes sense, as roofs are very expensive. But generally, I stay away from big roof repairs. I also make sure that the foundation is good. No leaky basements or shifting foundation or walls. That is too big a fix. Usually I like the electrical and the plumbing to be updated and up to code as well. So the things I focus on renovating are the kitchens, bathrooms, flooring, and painting. I find that by updating these things, it brings out the most ARV, or after repair value. You don't always have to tear out and put in new kitchen cabinets. If they're in decent shape, sometimes they just need a paint job and some new handles. I would suggest replacing the countertop with quartz or granite. That makes for a really nice look. Also, a new faucet and a new sink. The kitchen is the place people will look at most. In the bathroom, I will usually replace the toilet, the vanity, the tub surround, put in new flooring and new trim. Bathrooms should always look new and nice. I would suggest refinishing the hardwood floors or putting in new laminates. Stay away from carpet. Carpet tends to get dirty, it gets ripped up, tenants will destroy it, you'll have to replace it every few months. Where I live, a lot of the houses have basements, and you're sometimes able to add an extra bedroom or two downstairs. I would suggest that you update things like lights, plugs, faceplates, anything cosmetic like that. It's pretty inexpensive and it goes a long way. By focusing on those renovations, it'll speed up your timeline and it'll keep your costs down. Most contractors can get this work done in a matter of weeks. Step 3, rent. This is an important step as you need to know how much you can rent your property out for when finished. And you want to make sure that you're cash flow positive after the refinance. Which means that after your mortgage, insurance, and property taxes are paid for, that the rent at least covers those amounts and preferably more. It's a good idea to research the area you are investing in and find out what the average rents are and make sure it makes sense before you buy and renovate. I would go online and research other rental property ads in your area on Kijiji or Craigslist or whatever search platform you use in your area. Step 4, refinance. This is where it all comes together. By now you have renovated your house, rented it out, and are now cash flow positive. Here is what I do. I get an appraiser to come out to my house, give me a new appraisal. I then take that appraisal to my local credit union or your local bank, and I ask them to refinance the house at the new, higher after repair value. The bank may send their own appraiser as well, depends on the bank or credit union. It's extremely important to find out what other properties are selling for in your area. Ask your realtor to send you the comparables and make sure you have a really good idea what the ARV value is. The bank will then remortgage your property at the new higher value, pay off the old mortgage, and the remaining money should cover your original down payment, your renovation fees, and your closing costs, and that should all come back to you. Step 5 is repeat. Now you can use this method over and over again to increase your cash flow, increase your equity quickly in rental properties, creating a large net worth. Let me give you a real life example. Here's a house that I purchased, and this is a real life example. The purchase price was $175,000. Now, to buy this house, you're gonna have to put in 25%. Where I live, it's 25%. Where you live, it might be different. It could be 5%, it could be 10%. I put 25% down. We'll get into how to do down payments in a different video. I made a down payment of 25% on this property. Down payment. My down payment on this property was $43,750. That's how much I put in to buy the property. So my original mortgage then with the bank or whoever you borrow money from, could be a private lender, was $131,250. So here's my original purchase price, $75,000. I had to put down $43,750. So my original mortgage is $131,250 with the credit union. Now, after I repair this property, I get an appraiser to come out and they appraise the value for $255,000. So my ARV after repair value equals $255,000. So we bought the property for $175,000. We put in our renovations and our closing costs, and now we're getting it reappraised, and it's coming out at $255,000, the new after repair value. With this new appraisal of $255,000, you now take this to your credit union or your bank, and they will remortgage the property at 75% of this new value. So 75% of $255,000 is a new mortgage of $191,250. So your new mortgage equals $191,250. The bank will take this new mortgage amount of $191,250. They will now pay off the old mortgage of $131,250. And they will put the difference into your bank account. So you take your new mortgage, I'm going to write new here, new mortgage of $191,250. They will pay off your old mortgage, $131,250. And that's going to leave you, after they pay off the old mortgage, with a new mortgage of $191,250. And you're going to have $60,000 left over in your bank account. This $60,000 here is made up of your original down payment here. So you're paying off your entire 25% down payment that you put down. That's back in your pocket. And the remaining amount, hopefully, is enough to cover your closing costs. Closing costs. I think my closing costs on this were $5,000 or $6,000, somewhere in there. $5K to $6K. Which left me with approximately just over $10,000, maybe $11,000 for renovations. So my renovations, my renos, were somewhere around $10,000. In essence, we've got this entire house for free. We have our original down payment back. We have our closing costs paid for. We have our renovations that we put into it paid for. We've also increased equity in the house. Originally, we had $43,750 of equity, 25%. Now that we've made the property worth $255,000 on our new appraisal, our equity now in the house is $63,750. That's 25% of the new value. So we've just created $20,000 of equity that's now available to us to refinance out, or if we sell the property, that would be in our pocket. So this is the BRRRR method, and you can see how this can create tons of wealth. You can add rental properties, you can add cash flow, you can add equity very quickly. You repeat this process over and over and over. Every time you do, you're adding one of these possibly to your house. Now, not every property is going to be free. Sometimes you'll be in it for $5,000, $3,000, $2,000, sometimes even $10,000, $15,000, depending on the property. This actual property I bought, I got it at $175,000. It was originally listed at $200,000. So I was able to negotiate my way down. As it didn't sell right away, I was able to come in on a price drop and get an extra amount of money off. Originally dropped it down to $187,777, and I came in at $175. They took the offer. So I was able to build a lot of that equity into the purchase, and that's very important. However, would you take a house for $5,000 that's going to give you $63,750 of equity and cash flow $300 or $400 at least in your pocket a month? I think you would. Thanks for watching, you guys. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell to be notified of future videos, hit the like button, comment down below. I try to answer as many questions as I can. And until next time.